There's a part of us, psychologists call the ego, that demands to know why things happened. It's the part of us that wants to dictate how life should be and endeavors to control our future. Our ego can keep us tangled up in endless preoccupations. The truth is, a big part of life happens outside our control.
You know, you're always asking why. You're always wanting to know why, and I'll continue to want to know why, and I'll continue to want to know why my son was, how he honestly got hit by a train, and how my brother was, why Mike would have done this to him, why this person would have killed my brother. I always ask myself, why? It's exhausting. It's exhausting to search for these answers. So for me, and what's helped me in that whole endeavor is to just, I can't change that. I have to accept it.
And there's a huge ignorance of death in the Western world because we're so frightened of it, and we see it so seldom. It's a great taboo now. In Victorian North America, Victorian England, for example, everyone saw death on a weekly basis. You know, people died young, and then they just saw people. They knew of death. There would be a body. They weren't so frightened of it. Sex was the great taboo then. Today, it's almost compulsory to talk about sex all the time and become an incredible bore about it usually. But don't talk about death, because we have this extraordinary age where we assume we're not going to die. And it's a bit of a surprise because it's 100%. It's going to happen. But don't, anti-aging, don't grow old, fear death because we're so materialistic.
We're bombarded by misconceptions in our grief. So it's very difficult for us to understand what healthy grief is. We get very little understanding, very little education. People still are awkward to talk about it. It's still somewhat taboo in our society to talk.